Alright, I am now back, and we're going to go back in here. Ah, wunderbar. Looked like water drained out of that grate in the wall. Safety posts had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? The door was locked. I could see a faint light within. Now, so what's in here? There's a camera! There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. I found another dead body, a sewer worker. He was a mess, but he looked like he'd been stabbed. I could see a keyring that had fallen out of his pocket. Did I take it? Why, of course he did! I worked up the nerve to snatch the keyring away and put it in my own pocket. Well, it's not like he has any use for it. Which means we could probably open this other room now. I used the keyring to unlock the door. The shelf full of security tapes was strictly organized, though covered in dust. Looked like the tape I found was one that was missing from the shelf. There was a dusty VCR on the security desk. I wonder what was on that VHS tape I found. Did I play a tape? Why, of course you did! Jesus. Peter showed a map. Right there in the sewer, it's being attacked. Tape looked fuzzy and stretched, like somebody had tampered with it. It looked like there could have been two men. I couldn't stand to watch that video again. I wonder if we can go back to that other locked door. Because you know we had that other one. Tried a bunch of keys on the keyring and found a sewer worker, and one of them seemed to fit. What the hell? A collection of stale liquor bottles covered the floor. The wall was littered with dozens of old faded papers. Whoever did this was obsessed with some local murders. According to some of the clippings, bodies had been found in ravines, in the forest, and in one case, dumped in the back of an abandoned truck. I couldn't be sure, but I thought some of these same articles had also been pasted back in those tunnels. A faded receipt was half trampled on the floor. It was from the local train station, and was for 2 tickets. I didn't know what use it could be, but did I keep the receipt? Why, of course. I neatly folded the soiled receipt and slipped it in my front pocket. Pardon me, gas. Whew, this is becoming quite... Fuck you, you damn pipe! Scare the shit out of me! I have to say, the atmosphere is quite tense. It's just like, I'm expecting shit to happen. My sore leg made climbing the ladder difficult, but I felt a desperate need to escape. The thought of that videotape still gave me the chills. Who was that didn't want to be seen? Was it the same person who hid all those newspaper clippings away in that locked room? As I reached the top of the ladder, part of me hoped I would never know. I pushed aside my thoughts as they struggled with the latch above me, and as I swung up the cover to make my escape, the awful smell of that sewer gave way to the dank scent of pine trees. Great. In a forest. Dark forest. At night. Now suddenly I feel like I'm playing Dino Crisis now. Gated fences all outside. Whoa! I saw that! I saw that, eyes! An old ladder leading up to an ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Why, of course I did. I popped the latch and brought the ladder down. Get the fuck out of here, bats. In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? The wallet was missing ID or cards, but it had a bit of cash left in it. I slid it in my back pocket. I wondered where my credit card and driver's license were. From the railing I could see over the woods, and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Scratch marks there. This is certainly... fucking bats, get the fuck out of here. See you! Fucking eyes. Fracker. The rusty door was locked tight with an old padlock. The faded sign on the door warned about some kind of train yard. Must refer to the town's only train station. It didn't look like I'd be able to get through there at all. Oh, man. What's this? This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on that map I had seen. Whoever was poking around those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river, maybe a washroom, but the rest is too faded to see clearly. What time is it? Okay. Let's go back. Let's check this one. The one picnic table stood within a circle of trees, like an altar. It was covered in faint markings and carvings from who I assumed were previous campers and hikers. The path ended in a cold-looking river. I wasn't sure if it was safe to cross like this. Did I cross? No. In that darkness, it didn't seem wise to try. Maybe there was another option. Yeah, get the fuck out these woods. That'd be a different option entirely. Trampled into the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Yes! I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Through the fence I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. Who's there? Whoever you are, I don't give a shit. There was a fire pit there. It was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilt on the ground. The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside, could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. So these campers are obviously not here anymore. And by not here, I probably mean not with us, as in dead. What? There was some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Of course. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after worn page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. Newspaper page contained several names: Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Kelly, Holly, Rose, sorry, Rachel. Rachel! Her name was last in the list and had a mark beside it in blue ink. The name Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks looked older and more faded. I think we may have found the murder journal, murder journal, folks. We found a murder list! We found someone's death note. Okay. I'm probably going to get lost in the woods here for... No. Don't know. Whatever the fuck. I'm going in this outbuilding here. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. There was a damp-smelling plank leaning against the stall door. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Did I take it? Why, of course we did. I managed to carry the plank under my arm so it didn't get in the way. Now the fun part, trying to find... Okay, this new. Sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. Through the dense trees, I could finally start to see some light. I must have been at the edge of the forest, though I wasn't sure where the path ahead of me led. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean. And where were the campers who had abandoned their site? Would I meet them too? Though the path ahead of me was less dense, I still felt guarded and wary. Who knew what was ahead? Probably death, horror, things that'll make me scream like a little pissy girl. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed, almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. No words! They're telling you don't go back. Let's go into the plant. Can't possibly end badly, can it? I stand corrected. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front that said, "Danger! Closed for repairs!" There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs have collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. The board contained yellow clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked there. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Why, of course we did. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push? Yes, I did. Wait. Wait, did I turn the other one, or did I have to push it again? Okay, I guess I did. It was shut tight. There was a rusty-looking card slot on the side. Got to find that key card. Got to find that key card. Our old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. Obviously, Home Spice loved where he used to work. The door had been hastily boarded up. I wonder why. Maybe I should have grabbed a tool back to the house to pry things off. But man, I didn't think of that. Shut up, watch. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we were working. Yeah, whatever. None of the panel I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push it? Why, of course we did. A utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Why, of course we did! As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Makes you think, doesn't it? The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take it? I slipped the key card into my pocket. Another pound I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? And of course we pushed the switch again. And I'm going to pause right here, switch to the video, and I will be right back.